All right, welcome to Kings and Queens of Porn, everybody. And I have Julie with me, aka Ginger, but I'm gonna call her Julie because tonight we're, doing our own thing. We're doing our show. So how are you, Julie?
I am fantastic. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing great. I am so glad that we got to catch up.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a tag and play with Julie and I for the last couple of weeks. We totally, it's been crazy.
It has been. Life has just been going like full speed, it seems, for me lately, which is a great thing. But sometimes it's like, hey, I just want to chill and relax, you know?
Absolutely, and especially now, it's like you just want to chill, watch the TV with a nice big cup of hot cocoa because it's been freezing the last week or so.
Oh my gosh. Well, me living in Iowa, it's our winter season, and it has just been absolutely just ridiculously cold. Like, we've had wind gusts that are up to 50 miles an hour. So, like, I'll be walking outside, and my coat will, like, start, like, fluttering in the wind, and, like, my hood will kind of, like, fall forward on my face. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's like I must get blown over every time I walk outside.
That is so crazy because here, like, down in Myrtle Beach, we don't have weather like that. I'm used to it from up north when I lived up north, but
Sure.
it's not like that down here. But the last couple of weeks, yeah, right. It's been like, what is going on? I think it's that Trump playing with the weather again.
Right, no kidding. And I actually didn't know you were in Myrtle Beach because I'm originally from South Carolina.
Oh, no way. That's funny. That is so funny. What part of South Carolina?
Yeah, I grew up more in like the western side of the state, but I have family in the North Carolina area, and I've got family in South Carolina and Georgia. So like I grew up on the East Coast. So it's really cool to hear that you're in Myrtle Beach because I've been dying to get back there. I haven't been back to my home state since I was 16, so it's been quite a while.
Oh, that is so crazy. See, and I grew up north near Boston. So
Nice.
it's so different for me, you know what I mean? It's
Sure.
And I've been looking forward to go home for a visit because I miss up north. I mean, it's okay down here. I'm used to it now. My kids were raised down here.
Yeah.
But I'm used to the north, so I kind of miss
Yeah.
the culture, and I'm Portuguese, so it's like there's nobody down here that's Portuguese, So it's
Right.
like when I mention it, they look at me all crazy, like what, and I'm just like, forget it, it's okay, But I mean, it's I'm used to it now, so I'm good with it, but.
Awesome. Well, I'm humbled to be a part of this, and I'm very grateful, absolutely, for this opportunity to talk with you. So I'm excited.
That's great. I am too. And I love it that Miss my crazy friend there. she's wild. I can't even say that. I'm trying to think. I just can't believe my mind just went into a bubble. She's the one that referred me to you.
Yes,
Alexa. Yep. How could I forget her? She helps promote me and everything.
Oh my gosh, she is amazing.
She is.
Alexa Gray. Her and I got a chance to meet up when we were both in Florida at the same time this past July, and we got a chance to meet up, have drinks and dinner, and just get to know each other. And she is just the most sweetest, badass woman I have ever met. Like, she's got this sassiness, but like this such sweetness to her, and she's definitely become one of my very good friends. So I am very excited that she did, say, hey, you should, meet up with you, and so yes, let's get this started.
Yeah, and you're gonna laugh about this next because Alexa and I, we have the weirdest relationship because we started this porn industry at the same time. Of course, on different levels, but we both started. I started the show the same month she came into porn.
Oh, cool.
So we celebrate our anniversary like that. We laugh at each other and we celebrate our anniversary like that. The other thing is you got involved in it this year because I did her interview the week before yours was supposed to happen, okay? And we talked about you too, and then what happened was I had put her pictures up in this group that I have, and then I have almost 1,000 people in that group now, and and that's big for Facebook, because I was getting, what was happening is when I was putting y'all on advertisement on Facebook, people were reporting me naturally, and I was getting in trouble and getting in Facebook jail. So I decided to do my own group and make it private. You know what I'm saying? And it worked, because we have a big following in France and Germany, and those people are actually joining the group. So that's how I knew they were really following, because I was getting these husbands and wives from Germany, and I'm like, oh shit,
goodness.
you know what I mean? Like, they're really following. And I put these pictures up, and a couple of people thought that I was you. I was like,
God.
here we go again, because they did that with Alexa. When I started promoting Alexa, a lot of people, like even my friends, okay, were like, Kelly, really? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they thought that I was Alexa. And these were like my friends that see me all the time. You know what I mean? So I was just like, so me and Alexa joke about it all the time, that we're going to do a photo shoot together, because everybody thinks, well, this time it was you. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so crazy. So we started cracking up laughing. Now, how did you get into the industry?
Well, it's kind of like a interesting story. I've always been very sexual. Even at a young age, I guess it kind of started when I found the box of my parents' porn in their closet.
In your parents' closet?
Yes, in my parents' closet. I was like probably, I would say maybe 10 years old, maybe 8 to 10. I can't really remember exactly the age, but I would say maybe no older than 10. But in any case, I found the porn, and I kind of like watched the video, and I was like, what is this? And I kind of like, it didn't make me like disturbed, or didn't like weird me out or anything. So like, I was like, okay, whatever. Well, then I kind of, as the years went on, just kind of a little bit more sexually curious, and kind of just explored a lot of different things. And when I moved to Iowa, I kind of went on a sexcapade, I like to call it. Basically, I just had sex a lot, and of course, I was very safe about it, because I knew that the STD stuff and all that, is a big thing. So I didn't lose my virginity until I was 20. So I've only been having sex for the last 10 years. And so when I got here, I did that huge, going on, having sex with everybody. Well, not everybody, but you know what I mean.
I feel you. I was kind of like that in a way, to a sense.
Yeah. Well, so like I started like making recordings and doing, my own at-home stuff, like a lot of solo, a lot of naked pictures, and I kind of was in like I wouldn't say a relationship, but like I was talking to this guy long distance, and you know how that can be a little scary sometimes, but I just was naive at that point. But so he kind of like helped me start my Tumblr page, and that was probably about 2, maybe 3 years ago. My Tumblr page was started. And so I kind of kept it going, and I ended up meeting this guy off of Tumblr, and we started talking, and he's like, you know what? You would be really good in porn. He's like, you need to go visit bbwhighway.com and get on with them, because they're close to you. Because, living in Iowa, they're in Chicago, that's like a 5.5-hour drive, not a big deal.
Oh, okay.
So I got in contact with the producer, the owner of the website, and that's where I got my start. In May, actually, I did my very first scene, but I kind of just was creating my own content before then. I would say I really kind of started in like March of this year.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah.
So you really just started in porn, like building yourself up and stuff like that, as far as on, the Twitter and everything like that.
Yeah, I've actually had my Instagram removed 2 times. I've had my Twitter suspended once. I've had my Snapchat accounts removed a couple of times. And I've been reported. I mean, I've been just, like any person and any woman who goes through porn, they get all that negativity, or they get those haters, quote unquote. So yeah, I've definitely been through it. I've been through the ringer, it feels like, so far. And it's only been less than a year.
Wow. Now, why do they do that when they know there's so much porn on Twitter anyway?
I don't know. I think it was, I think the whole Twitter thing actually was because my header and my profile picture were a little bit more explicit. and I know that they had just implemented that you shouldn't have any, negativity, or not negative, but nudity and all that stuff in your headers and stuff. So I did end up getting those changed, and they reactivated my account. So it wasn't like it was deleted or anything. But as far as like Instagram goes, I posted a couple of pictures that wouldn't have been, that weren't right and all that stuff. And so it's just, yeah.
I think if you make it private on Instagram, you can put whatever you want.
Well, yeah, and I do.
Yeah.
I do have my account private. However, you still get those people who they want to see what you have, and they want to see what you look like and all this stuff. So they get a chance to see you, and then they're like, oh, well, I don't want to see this, blah, blah, blah. And so then they report me, or they, whatever. So I do have a lot of haters out there. I think a lot of them are guys, which is unfortunate, because it's not like I'm out there trying to, take anybody's woman or whatever. I'm just doing me. I'm having fun. I'm doing what I want.
Yeah, it's something you want to do. If they don't want to bother, or they don't want to be on that, then don't get on my page. Like, what the hell?
Exactly. And actually, on my bio on Instagram, it says, if you don't like big women, don't add me. So, like, I make it very clear, like, I'm a big woman. You don't add me if you don't want to see this, So I have had a lot of issues, with younger people being on my page, and I've had to go through and block and remove them and stuff like that. So it can be very daunting at times.
and it's sad, because big women have made like a tremendous impact on the industry in all areas. In actuality, the last couple of years, the industry for big women has grown.
Oh, no, I absolutely agree. And, I never really watched BBW or SSBW porn before. I actually watch it a little bit more now, and that's just because I like to see what other women are doing and kind of experience their, scenes while they're experiencing it. And I talk to a lot of different BBW porn stars that have been in the industry for a very long time and have become really good, friends and like a mentor to me. So it has been great to see how much it has grown over the years. So.
Yeah, and I feel like you said, if they know that you're a BBW and they see that you're a BBW, why? And what's crazy is so many men, that's actually one of their fetishes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they just don't want to admit it, or they actually like BBW women, and they just don't want to say it, because, they'll get picked on, or something will be said because, they're one of the guys that don't want to be seen with a BBW girl because, society has, you're supposed to look like a Barbie doll, but I mean, there's just like women, like, I mean, preferably I can't stand a skinny ass man. Like, that's just not me. I don't want, I can't stand those skinny men, because it's like, where's your arms, or where's your leg, you know what I mean? Like, no, I can't deal with that. But
no, I absolutely feel what you're saying. Like, it's definitely been, interesting to see, these men coming out of the woodwork saying, "Oh my God, you're beautiful." I would totally want to hook up with you. I want to be with you. I want to, you're my fetish. Blah blah blah. Like, I actually recently had somebody in my area see me. I was out with my family, and he messaged me on Instagram, and he was like, "Were you at such and such place this weekend?" And I was like, "Yes." He goes, "Oh my gosh, you're beautiful, and even in real life, you're more beautiful." And I was like, "Well, thank you. I appreciate it." I was like, "Why didn't you come up and say hi?" He was like, "Well, I was nervous. My palms were sweaty, and I just was like super nervous." And I was like, "Well, you should have at least came up and said hi. We could have gone off into a a little bit more private area, so you could have a little better of a conversation. You could tell me, hey, this is how I know who you are," which I don't mind if people come up to me and say, "Oh my gosh, you're Julie Ginger." I would just rather them do it in a private, more secured area and not around my family.
Right. I can see that.
And he did confess to me. He's like, "I've never been with a bigger woman before, but you're, like a fantasy of mine. I definitely want to experience you." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, it's good to know."
Right. Like, thanks for telling me that, sharing that with me. That
a
makes me
lot.
feel great, you know. Now, have you had any weird fetish like calls or any weird fetish requests?
Oh yeah, I've got guys who want me to burp on cam or fart on cam, and I just don't like. It's just weird to me, and it's not like.
What the hell is with the farting thing? What is with men getting off on women farting?
I don't know. It is the weirdest thing, right? But like I haven't done it. I've done the burping, which burping I don't mind doing because that's kind of easy to do. Whereas, the fart, you have to have that, to build up those gases.
Gas, right.
So on and so forth. So it's definitely a little bit more difficult. And I actually have a guy who constantly hits me up on Twitter and in my emails. He's like, hey, can you do this night, so on and so forth. And I'm like, I can't always be available to you for this, specific thing because I don't always have the time to do it. So. But yeah, I think the weirdest things. I've had guys approach me for like BDSM shoots, and I've not experienced any BDSM, at least what he's looking for.
Right.
And it kind of freaked me out a little bit and made me go, no thanks, I'm sorry, I don't want to be tied up like I'm a pig. No, I'm good, like.
I don't be hogtied, thanks.
Yeah, I don't want to be hogtied, no, or any tied up. Like at least not what he's wanting. He's talking like extreme, and
right.
I'm not that extreme, So
that's crazy. I've heard some weird ones. I mean, with every interview, I always ask like the fetish ones because to me, I like to hear all the different ones. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody. I watch porn, like and I've heard some, you see them on there, but you don't, it's not like, I'm asking, you can't ask the porn videos like, hey, what's your weirdest, So I always have to ask that question to all the people that I interview, and I've heard some weird ones. I think one of them that I heard that was the weirdest was a gummy bear. Like this guy got off on, like, he used to have her talk shit. He used to have her buy one of those big gummy bears, and then she would have to put on lipstick. And she would have to actually talk shit to the gummy bear and stab it. Like, I mean, the guy really, has a weird fetish.
That is like, that is a little...
Yeah.
Wow.
I would not want him to know where I lived or, ever try to find me because, I mean, that to me is a little weird. Like, I don't know.
Really?
Just, like, I'd be worried about him.
Weird. I mean, I've never had anybody, I don't think that I can recall over the last, 6 to 8 months ask me anything super, like, weird like that. I mean, like I said, the weirdest has been, just the burping and farting thing, I think, that I can think of.
Right.
So, it's all good, though.
I know. I got to let all the girls know, too, we're starting a lingerie line. And I forgot that a lot of the girls have wish lists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was telling the part of the family of our radio that's doing that. I told them, I said, you know what? They could put this on their wish list. They can go shopping in our lingerie department. You know what I mean? Because we're coming out with like a high fashion clothes thing. Under
oh, awesome.
Yeah, so it's one of the guys. He's starting his own. It's one of our radio people in Florida, and he's starting his own little clothing thing, and he said, Kels, we're going to have pocketbooks and clothes and lingerie. And I said, lingerie? I said, my girls. I said they would love, and I said they have wish lists that they put like things that they want to, want somebody to buy them and stuff. I said that would be awesome, and it'll help us advertise your lingerie, So he started laughing. He's like, you're crazy. I said, no, I'm serious. I said they really do. He said, oh wow, that's cool, So.
No, absolutely. Like, I've got, a wish list of my own, obviously, and I've got tons of stuff on there, not just lingerie, but I've got, like, other things that I want or need, or just simply just like. And, yeah, I've been very fortunate to have some guys, get things that I really want, and I've been very, appreciative and grateful for those who do. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely have, lots of different things on there, so. That would be cool to be able to add more.
So what's been your favorite experience so far?
Let's see. My favorite experience thus far in the porn industry. Well, I mean, I guess I, every shoot is always something, different, a different intensity, a different person, obviously. So it's just really been getting to know the different, guys and the different people inside, the industry, the people that I work with. But, my favorite overall scene or just, an encounter has been with Don Prince. He's the sweetest, I swear, but we have such good chemistry on and off camera. We're just super good friends, and our scenes have been just outstanding. Like, some of the most hardcore shit I've ever done.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so I definitely, had a great time with him. So I would say he's kind of been the person who I've enjoyed the most, and he's been my favorite experience so far. So,
that's wild.
I mean, I'm not putting down any other guy that I've worked with because they've all been great. I just think that him and I have like way better chemistry on set, and it's just a lot of fun.
Oh, okay. So what about now as far as like accomplishments, like things you want to get done next year? I know like with Alexa's first year, she didn't, there was just a couple of things that she did. So like she had a bunch of goals for the following year that she wanted to, like feed out and, accomplish for the following year.
Yep. So for me, I definitely would love to be nominated in the Avian Awards. Obviously, this year it wasn't in the books because I'm, starting so late in the year, or I just am still very new. So 2019, I want to be nominated for, maybe Best Performer, maybe Best Newcomer, at least in the BBW side of it, of course. And then I definitely want to be able to work with some of the top guys in the industry, like Shawn Michaels or Shane Diesel. I do work with a lot of black men, which I absolutely love. And it's nothing against white guys, nothing against any other race. It's just it works for me. And I don't want to be completely strictly interracial because I'm not. But I definitely enjoy, black men. I don't know why. I just do. So some of the other things are just, getting those nominations and creating more content and getting a gangbang in. I haven't done a gangbang yet. Haven't done a threesome with a girl yet. So, I mean, it's just, adding those different elements to me, is basically what I want to do, is just create more fun content for my fans and followers. So
right, and I think that's like, I think Alexa and I were talking about that too. Like she had it. I don't even think she has had interracial yet, and that's something she's working on now for I think next year. And like her first interview, she hadn't done a threesome with a female yet, but I think she accomplished that in 2017. But
good.
Yeah, so she had gotten that. Now, like 2018, she's gonna try to do that. It's like a lot of them have different things, and I never realized like how much went into porn until I started interviewing porn stars. I never realized the work. You would think that, oh, it's just, sex, that's it. But when everyone explains like the different shots and the still shots and the, you know what I mean? And I'm like, God, like I'm thinking, okay, like you got to stop and then you can't come until, and I'm just like, God, how do you hold that shit in? And then, you know what I mean? And then what if you can't come again? Like, and then like, oh, well, that's where Spunk Lube comes in. And I'm like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, I just start laughing because I'm just like, I can't imagine, like, I didn't realize that you had to stop at certain points.
Yeah.
I was just like...
It's definitely been one of those experiences for me because honestly, in my personal life, I'm not used to just stopping.
Right, right.
Because you got to get those pictures and all that stuff. And so it's definitely been interesting for sure, but I enjoy it. It's part of the experience. It's part of being in the industry and being able to, give and create that content that people want to see. So I definitely have enjoyed it for sure.
And I think that's where the acting part comes. You know what I mean? Because you have to.
Yeah.
It's not like a sex thing where you're just having sex. You have to do those little stop things. And I think, like, the ones that I kind of like too are the ones that have content. That's where I think the interesting ones are too. Like a movie kind of. I don't want to say movie thing because they're not really movies, but like a skit type of thing.
Yeah.
That would be like kind of cool too, to do a creative, like, skit type of thing. I know, like, one girl, she said she wanted to do like a Tinkerbell scene, and I started busting out laughing. But then when I thought about it, that would be kind of awesome, and she's telling me like how she wanted. So it's like different things, and different roles, and I was like, that should be cool. And I remember, like, when I was young, the same thing. I found porn in my mom's room. But the crazy difference between your porn and mine, my mom's was cartoon. I don't know what was up with the cartoon thing. I don't know if it was a fetish. I don't know what it was.
Fetish. It absolutely is a fetish, because I know so many people out there who get off to the cartoon aspect of porn. Like, how you got all these, big animated, adult cartoon shows, and sometimes they can be made into a little bit more risque. And so people, I do know, have that fetish, and or like anime porn, but again, it's still that cartoon that's animated, so it's a little bit more, I would say, dirtier, and more intense, because there's no limits to what they can do with animation.
Oh, okay.
So,
but still, picture being a kid. You know what I mean? Picture being like 8 years old, seeing that. I was horrified. I was just like, not looking at cartoons the same anymore.
That is so funny. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Because
oh, no, I was laughing. I mean, I was fine when I got older, but I mean, just, when I first seen it, I'm like, what the heck? Like, you don't picture cartoons doing that kind of thing. You just don't think of cartoons like that.
Right. Nope, I absolutely feel you there. Yep. I mean, I did experience my first anime porn a few years ago. I came across it, and I was like, wow, this is really intense and very interesting. I couldn't look away. I wanted to, but I couldn't.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I totally agree with the anime ones, because I didn't know they had those either until probably a couple of years ago, maybe about 8 years ago. And like you said, I wanted to look away. To me, they were so in depth.
Yeah.
Like you said, they were so I can't even explain it. These were like the Japanese anime ones.
Yeah, they're more like intense. They're more like I said, dirtier, nastier. They're
like they
creative.
Creative
with anime, or not really anime, but with animated porn, basically.
Yeah, like,
I mean, not knocking regular, a live porn, because there are people who can get very creative with, regular porn. I've seen it. I mean, you can look up, I'm sure, hundreds of videos and stuff out there of people who've created some really awesome porn in real life. So, like I said, I definitely want to be a part of something big.
Now you got me into thinking about that animated porn. I haven't seen any in so long. You got me thinking about it, because we were selling it at our store. I used to manage a music store, and we were selling it and had no idea that it was animated porn like that, for real. Like, we thought it was just like the animated movies. How the people used to collect the DVDs and stuff, and they used to. No wonder teenagers were coming in like crazy to buy them, And then finally I got to see, one of them, and I was just like, oh my God. So we had to put the stickers on it, parental advisory and all that. But they were worse than, like you said, they were worse than porn. So I was just like, we gotta, the company stopped selling them, because we had a couple of mothers come in not too happy, It was just not. But when I finally sat down and watched one, like you said, it was like you look at it and you're like, oh God, I can't watch. But it was like you couldn't take your eyes off of it, because you were just like, oh my God, like these anime people are like, I mean, like you said, they were so like, damn, there's some nasty freaks. You know what I mean? Like, they were just like, they were so like, you just wouldn't picture, like, I don't know. It was wild. It was just definitely, yeah. I mean, I sat there and watched them too. I was just like, no wonder the teenagers are buying these, like, yeah.
No, my sisters are into regular anime. Like there are different, your sides to anime. You've got like, of course you got the porn side, but you got the regular side. My sisters have always been into like they're just regular manga books are what they called, but they're like comic books, but a little bit thicker and a little bit more detailed and stuff. But so my sisters like anime, so. And when I first saw my very first anime porn, I was like, oh my God, if my sister saw this, I think they'd have a heart attack.
Right? See, and my kids were always into that too, so I was just like, I knew my boys were going to like it. You know what I'm saying? I knew that. So I was like, oh, I might as well just let it go. And I was never the type of parent to, I ain't even going to lie to you. When my boys turned 15, I bought them like Playboy books and put it in their stockings, And my ex-husband was fine with it, you know what I mean? But my mom was just like, you think you really should? I said, look, you know what? You didn't tell me about sex. You know what I'm saying? You always shied away from it, always told me, I don't want my kids to be like that. I don't want my kids to think all these crazy thoughts. And if my boys want to touch and feel themselves and, masturbate, whatever, they need to know what a girl, I don't want them to shy away from that. I'm not saying that I want them to do, but I can remember, being younger and people beating their kids because they masturbated, and it's like, what the hell is wrong with you? No, tell them to go in the other room, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And touch themselves, but they're going to touch themselves and experience themselves. And I went to college for that and took psychology classes, and they teach you that it's normal for a child to grab theirself, you know what I mean? And realize when it starts functioning and whatever that, okay, wow, what is it doing, And I couldn't stand when parents would yell at their kids about that. I'm like, are you serious? Like,
yeah, I mean, my first, like, real, I would say, for my experience and my, obviously growing up, my very first real, I would say, sexual discovery, I would say probably was when I was, soon after I found out that porn stash of my parents, I was curious, and so I started, doing things and touching myself and, whatever. But my very first, like, actual sexual act was with a girl, to be honest. It was my best friend, and her and I, we spent a lot of time together, and so, of course, we were very close, and I told her about what I found, and she's like, yeah, I found, my parents, and so we kind of bonded over that, and then we had our very first sexual experience when we were, like, I think 10 or 11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of where it started, really. It's where the seed was planted of being more sexually accepting and being just a very sexual woman, and kind of just grew from there. And so, yeah, it's been the last, so I say, 18 years, because I'm 30 now, has been, very interesting.
Yeah, so you've actually just come out of your sexual, and you know what? I must say that's good for you. It really is. However, I got married at 18, and I honestly, that was the only man I had ever been with. So imagine being with the same man for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah.
At that age, I couldn't. And I actually, going through a divorce right now. Not because of me being in porn, but he left me years ago, and we just haven't got a chance.
Finished it.
We were separated. We just haven't actually finished it. So, it's finally happening. Like next year, it'll be done. And so, it's been eye-opening because I was with him for so long, and I was definitely unhappy, I could tell.
And I bet you sex with other people, I don't even know how to word it, but it totally made you feel so different.
Yeah, he was, I guess I didn't get a chance to really experience a lot of things, even though I had started having a lot of sex, I really wasn't experiencing things, and he just didn't help
Right.
or not guide, but like he didn't help me get that adventure through my sexual experiences. And so that was one reason why, we split. There's other reasons, but my very first black guy was not long after he left me, and that kind of opened up a whole new world to me because I'd never had experienced that before, and that kind of drove my hunger for a black guy, and I dated that guy for a while, and it was great. And then it just, life goes, we go our separate ways, it happens or whatever. So that's why I've been doing a lot of more interracial porn, because I enjoy it. So,
I don't mean to laugh. I really don't, Julie. I don't. But it's just like, if you knew me, like, our lives are just that's so funny. Because, like, after I left, it like I said, that was years. I've only been with that one person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The first man that I slept with when I left him was just so like, oh my God, you've been so sheltered. Because he said the same thing. He was just like, wow, like, this is crazy. And I guess because, like you said, I wasn't, you know what I mean? I never had a chance to explore, you know what I mean? Like, I guess, and my ex-husband, he had been with a lot of women. So it wasn't like, I don't know. I don't know. He had been with a lot of women, I don't know. I guess because, that was the only man I had ever been with, I guess. I don't know. And then, like you, I waited like a year or two before I even had sex with anyone, because I was scared. You wear that shoe, and it's like I've had that shoe for 20 years. I wasn't wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of, it's sad when your daughter looks at you at like 14, your daughter, and she's like, Ma, you were supposed to experience before you got married. And I just looked at her, and she's like, you were supposed to try different shoes, Ma. And I'm looking at her like, oh my God. And she's like, you need to go out, have some safe fun.
Yeah,
and
definitely. And like my mom was I actually was raised in a very Christian home and very sheltered. And thank goodness for my friends. If I didn't have the friends I had, I would never know about anything until I left my mother, until I left my home.
Me too.
At the age of 13, I moved to Florida with my family, and I met my best friend. Her and I were best friends for 9 years, and she opened my eyes to a whole new world of just life. And we experimented with each other, of course, because, as time goes on, you can just grow to become best friends with somebody, and you just are comfortable. So, of course, again, you're more experimenting and more just getting to know your body and helping someone else get to know their body, too. And I'm going to say it now, and so everybody knows I am bisexual. I do love dick, but I don't mind being with girls. I think girls are fun, and especially when it's a girl who can appreciate her body, she's going to appreciate your body at the same time. So it was definitely something that, when I got to the very right sexual age of, 13, 14 years old, it was a fun 9 years of friendship. And, even to this day, we still communicate, but we aren't best friends anymore because we have gone our separate ways. But with my porn, I can use my experiences in what I do to just help the scene or just to create a more fun, relaxed atmosphere. When I'm on set, who I am right now is who I am on set. I don't falter. I don't change. I like to have fun. I like to joke around. I like to just be goofy. But when I'm working, I'm obviously working, And if anybody watches my porn, they can see that it's real. There's no faking involved. And to be quite honest, the guys in my area here don't live up to what I expect.
Right.
And that's just because, of course, I'm working with top people and some of the top people in the industry. So when I look for somebody for my own personal, like just when I'm at home, when I'm not working and doing porn, or if I want a guy to come over to help me just put something fun on my premium Snapchat or just to create a fun video, I do definitely do a lot of research and look, because I want somebody who's going to make sure that I am getting off and it's real and I'm not having to fake anything, and I like to fake. So I've never faked in any of my videos, to clarify, because I've had people ask. So every time, a guy sees me having sex and they're watching my videos, I am legitimately enjoying myself and getting off and having fun. Sometimes at home in my personal life, not so much, just because not every guy can, again, do what I need them to do to make sure that I get what I need to be satisfied.
See, and I think that's a lot of females. I mean, I've heard some female porn stars say that, and that would be my question. Like I don't think I could do it unless I was getting off. You know what I mean? Because like even in my personal life, if I'm not gonna have sexual satisfaction, we're gonna have a problem. If we can't work through that and find a way to make that happen, it's not gonna work.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, I to be honest, I just recently had a guy come over, and we met. Actually, it's funny, we met through Tinder. I just kind of threw myself on the app just because I was like, hey, let's see what's out there, because I need more variety in my life, and here in Iowa, I'm not really getting as much. So I met him. He was cool. Didn't have, obviously, his dick was super small. So it definitely made me sad. And he didn't, I wasn't satisfied. I absolutely was not satisfied when he left. Obviously, we'd save sex, we used condom, all that stuff. But it made me realize, like, damn, I'm kind of spoiled when it comes to my porn. I get the good dick that I want.
Wow.
So, I mean, it makes it really hard for my personal life. If I want to have fun, I have to look for a guy who's very well endowed, because I'm not going to get satisfied unless, one, they know how to use their fingers, two, they know how to eat. They know how to take care of a girl.
Eat the honey jar, honey. Eat the honey jar.
Eat the cookie.
Yeah.
And then also, being well endowed, because I have to be satisfied. And plus, if he is, I feel like I get to have more fun, and it's more of a challenge instead of having a smaller, dick. So.
See, and I've found that with a lot of women, they always, and I think men take it as, oh, well, women like big dick anyway. And there are some that like you like big dick. I don't like real small. No, absolutely not. It has to be average to big, I mean, I don't, unless that the small man knows what he's doing to satisfy you in all these other ways, because otherwise that small penis ain't going to do it.
Nope, absolutely won't. And I experienced that last night, and I tried my best to not be upset or show how much I didn't want any of my emotions of me being like unsatisfied to show. So I did my best just to say, oh, thanks so much, I had a great time, let's hang out again. But I mean, he's a good guy, he's a great guy, he's a very good looking guy, but he's he's white, but he just wasn't well endowed enough. Like it wasn't satisfying, and I feel really bad for saying it, but to be in all honesty, I have to be satisfied, and that's just what it comes down to.
Right.
So,
but I think majority of people are like that, and if they can't tell their mate or whoever they're with that they're not satisfied and they're just gonna let it keep going on and on, then something's wrong. And that's vice versa for men too. If they can't tell their female friend, well, look, I'm not getting this enough, or we got to work on this because I feel left out, or and I mean, there are times when there's circumstances, or like if there's death, or if there's a lot of emotional stress, or what I mean. I'm not, what I'm saying, like, but I mean, as far as like satisfaction when you are, what I'm saying, they, like I know some females, they don't even like giving head, and it's like, okay, but you want your pussy ate out, but you don't want to give head. Like, what the hell's wrong with that scenario there? Whatever you do to that person, you should be allowed to do back. You know what I mean? Or the same thing, like, there's a lot of things men, oh, no, I ain't doing that. Or I ain't. And it's like, to me, there's no holes barred on what as far as you'll do with your mate.
Yep, exactly. And that's why, like, I always make sure that, my guy is satisfied. And it's so funny because, like, I've had, other encounters with some of, other guys in my area, who said to me, he's like, I want you to be satisfied first, because I know I can't live up to, the guys that you've been with in the porn industry. And he's very it was very nice and refreshing, actually, for him to acknowledge that, because it made me feel like, oh, well, wow, like, he definitely wants to make sure I'm taken care of, but he knows that he's going to end up busting quick, or it's going to be, he's not going to be very, very good.
And it's good when men like to do that. It's good when a man likes to make sure that you go first.
Yes, absolutely, and it was a big, huge turn on too. So like, I was super like, holy shit, yeah, let's do this, And so he was really good with his hands and his mouth, and like, so it made me happy, and it made me like, okay, I'd like to see you again, like. And it was funny because this specific guy I'm talking about, he's like, oh my God, I found you on Tumblr, and like when I found your Snapchat, and then we started talking, he was like, now I'm here. He's like, I don't even know what to do with myself right now. I'm just so overly excited. I'm like, well, thanks. I feel really like I'm appreciative of you, like, so every once in a while I'll meet up with a fan, and so it's not very often that I do, but what I do, I like to make sure that they enjoy themselves and they get to see me for who I am outside of porn. Like, I'm a real person. I'm not just some girl who, does porn. I do it because I enjoy it, because I quite honestly, I got bored with my life.
Right.
And that's kind of how with all the whole Tumblr and all that, that was just another thing that kind of edged me on to be in porn. Like, I just was bored. I needed some excitement.
And I think, like you said, foreplay is disappeared over the years.
Yeah.
And it's like,
absolutely.
Guys used to use their fingers so much more. They used to use their, just their lips, just their whole fondling, their whole, you know what I'm saying? Just their whole pre let me fuck you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Let me get you excited and wet and, all that. So before they even get to you, you're already soaked. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, what happened to that shit? Like, where'd that go?
I don't know.
It's like men now, it's just like, okay, let me just stick it in. Like, no, wait. What happened to all that shit?
Yes, I love the foreplay. Like, I love being touched and just caressed, and then like, we're exploring each other's bodies. We're making each other turned on, like kissing and
and teasing and
like,
and like, okay, I'm gonna suck you just a little bit, and then when it gets hard, I'm not gonna do it. So you're throbbing, you know what I mean? And once I know you're throbbing, it's like I'm gonna I'm gonna let it go, and you're gonna be like wanting more. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to that shit? Like, nobody's got time for that anymore, and it's like, I miss that. I miss like when that used to be going on, and it's like now people just rush through sex, and that's not the way it's supposed to be.
No, it's not. Sex is supposed to be, like, obviously it's meant to be fun and exciting and intimate, but at the same time, it's like, don't rush. Enjoy it. And for those who are listening, make sure you take care of your girl. She's out there doing work. We're not, you may be the one who's thrusting, but don't think that we aren't working too,
Yeah, and girls don't
love her.
Yeah, you want your pussy ate, don't be afraid to show your man some kind of gratification too. And a dick ain't gonna hurt you, and there's so many vitamins. Like, I can't stand when a woman's like, I am not putting my mouth. I'm just like, oh my God, like do some research on it, Google it, do reading on it. Like, so many women don't read, don't learn, don't do nothing, okay? Like, there's so many things that you can do to excite it too. Like, there's adult pop rocks, okay? Adult ones.
Oh my God.
And there's so much fun. Yeah, and there's so much fun you can explore with each other. It doesn't need to just go on his dick. They can go on your pussy, and trust me, they pop. Like, you're just gonna be like, oh my God. Okay?
I've never done that, but that sounds like...
Oh, God, you gotta try it. You don't even... If you can't find the adult ones at the store, you could just use regular Pop Rocks, too.
Oh, well, wait, what was that last part?
You can use the regular Pop Rocks, too. If you can't find the adult ones, like, a lot of the sex stores will sell the adult ones, but they work with just regular Pop Rocks, too.
Okay. I mean, I've heard about it, but I didn't know it was that, like, exciting and fun. Like, that sounds so awesome.
It is.
I'm definitely gonna have to try that my next my next go around. I think find one of my good porn guy friends and be like, hey, let's have some fun.
There's stuff I haven't tried too that I've heard from other people. Like I heard about the whole popsicle thing. I haven't tried that.
Oh, do you have a glass toy?
Yeah, I have one, but I haven't
okay,
done.
Take it, put it in the freezer, let it freeze, and then use it.
Really?
It's like having the same experience of the popsicle without obviously the sugar and all that.
Right.
But it's that cold iciness, and let me tell you, holy shit, it is amazing.
I'll have to try it. I do. I have a glass one. I never heard of that though. I mean, I figured that does make sense though because the glass would freeze and wow. Yeah. I'll have to try that.
Yep, and then so it'll obviously it'll warm up to your body temperature. So after some time,
right.
You'll start obviously initially you'll have that cold. That cold initial feeling, obviously, and then your body will start, getting more accumulated to it. It ends up being a really fun time, especially, even if you're by yourself,
right.
Enjoy it. I think I haven't done it in a while, and actually, it's a sad story. When I was still married, I put my glass toy in the freezer, and then my now ex, soon to be ex, husband found it and threw it away, and I was beyond pissed. I was so mad at him. I was like, Oh, I can't even tell you the words I said because it was so bad. So I now have a new one, obviously, and so I will have to do that again soon. Actually, I'm glad I thought about it because I think I'm going to do it sooner than later.
Yeah, and I've heard, like, I got to hit up some expos and stuff because I heard the toys are, like, so cheap at all these things.
Yeah, you got to be careful, like, what toys you buy. Like, I had bought one of my favorite companies to buy through, and it's been a long time since I bought some from them, but it was Pure Romance. They're one of my favorite toy companies to buy from. Or I go into Amazon, and I look for toys. And obviously, I look for ones that have high reviews and a lot of good people saying that this is a good product to use this, so on and so forth. So I do a lot of shopping on Amazon for some toys and clothes. But Pure Romance was one of my very first companies that I ever bought a toy from. And I actually used to sell toys through this company. So I definitely suggest, like, if a girl's looking for just something to start off with, to do your research, obviously. Guys, do your research as well.
I actually think that's where I bought my first toy from, too.
Yeah, you don't want to buy something that's, cheap just because it's cheap. You want to make sure that you're getting a good quality product.
Right.
And so that's why I'm very, very particular about the stuff that I buy, and about pretty much about just about anything. I do a lot of research, so. That's
wild.
Yeah.
Well, I have kept you for a whole hour. So that's how these go, though. I ain't gonna lie. They all go like this. But I need you to tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay. So Twitter and Instagram, my handle is BBW Julie Ginger, all one word, obviously. And then my Tumblr page, you can find me at Sexiest Redhead of all one word. And as far as my website goes, I don't have one yet, but soon I will have one, and it'll be juliegingerxxx.com. I'm still working on getting it together, so that'll drop, and I'll, of course, promo it all over my Twitter and Instagram pages, and so you guys can go and check out my website. So eventually, hopefully, before the end of the year, but if not, it'll definitely be next year. I'll have my own personal website. So.
And that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
and
I'm excited.
I'm very glad. I'm happy for you, too.
I also have mini-vids as well, so that's sexiestredheadofall.minivids.com. So.
Awesome.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. That's awesome. So everybody, y'all know where you can go find her. Make sure that you follow her, and she'll respond to y'all, because a lot of the girls do. They'll actually, they'll do that. And
yes, I'm actually one of the very few from talking with fans who follow a lot of other BBW models or SSBW models, that I'm one of the few who actually talk or respond with fans and actually have full conversations, and don't expect people to pay me, but it's always nice to show a little gratitude and a little, gratefulness to the models who do take time out of their day, their busy day, to talk with you and to communicate with you. Because yes, fans are important. I appreciate all my fans. I love my fans, and that's why I definitely show that gratitude and that love to them by talking with them and showing that love, like I said. So.
Absolutely, and make sure that you stop by their wish list too. All of them have a wish list, so you can all make sure that you stop by that too.
Yep, and I have those. Those are displayed in my bio, or they're on my Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram pages as well. So if for some reason you can't find it, you can always shoot me a DM or an email even. And my emails are always in my bios as well, and I can certainly send that over to you.
Absolutely. And I am so glad that, we finally caught up, and I'm glad that we did this interview. And we will definitely catch up again one day down the road. So I thank you.
Absolutely.
I thank you very much. And let me stop this now.